Well, besides today's normal banter, I decided I'm going to try to give you guys little tidbits, kind of using just stuff that we're working on. For instance, how to make a budget. Before I get into too much banter, like I said, I'm just gonna go right into how to make a budget. And before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know that this is what we're doing. There's many different ways to make a budget, be able to get yourself some good financial stance, and it's all experimental. Going from budget to budget, trying to figure out what works best for you. Now, there's a long way you can go about it, which we tried to start in America, and it's kind of difficult because you kind of get discouraged after a little bit of a while, like when are we going to set this up? But the long way is that you can go ahead and track where your money's going. Now, you want to keep every receipt that you have, for a month or two, and separate each month, kind of like see where your money is going. You want to separate into categories, such as eating out, groceries, gas, travel expenses, hygiene, different things like that, movies, anything you want to separate into. But the thing is, you want to create categories that are easy, and you want to be truthful to yourself. For instance, you don't want to just go out and buy some candy and put that under groceries. That would go under extra expenses somewhere. After you have the 2 months of tracking, you guys go ahead and start trying to work on a budget. Now, like I said, we did the long way in America. We never really got to actually making the budget. So here, we just jumped right into making a budget, which is where the experimenting comes in. You want to form a budget based on first your needs, what you have to pay, and then you want to make a budget of what you would, like wants. For example, for our have to pays, we have loans, bills, groceries, travel costs for work, school lunches, and stuff like that. And that's all has to be paid. I think we also put, because the way we're doing, the reason we're doing the budgeting is to pay off our debt because of school and stuff like that. So we also have under there, money to savings, because that's a need that we're going for. It's a goal. And it's always good to set a goal, like if you want to buy something, use it a budget. Yeah. So, no car coming. I don't think I've ever gone this way. Yeah, so now you have your total income on the top, and each section, each category, you're subtracting a certain amount, and you're setting these amounts based on either what you're tracking or just kind of averaging in your head. Okay, well, this is how much I spend. Now, I don't think this can go anywhere. I didn't want to bother those kids. It goes somewhere. Okay, so now you're taking the total income, and not how much you have in your bank account, but total income, what did you make that month? Now you subtract each amount, each category of wants, or needs. And after you go through the category of needs, then you have what's left for allowable. Now, allowable basically means that this is what you can spend on the things you want. For us, our wants, we each have an individual, like Justin's limit, Katrina's limit, and then we have extra into savings. Basically, whatever we don't spend, whatever is left at the end of the budget, we put back into savings, trying to build up that savings before we start paying off debt. I'll go through how we're snowballing debt tomorrow. But we also have, it's a dead end. We also have home improvement. Now, home improvement, that might sound like a need, but home improvement really is a want, because you can get by without having a couch, or get by without having a TV or a desk. That should all go under wants. Also under wants, I think we put school supplies for Katrina, so that's all going in there. Anyways, after you have all your budget, then you test it out. You go through the month with those amounts. And one thing I learned that we didn't do last month when we tried to budget was one of the guys here, he takes the budget and then he puts each category, he takes out cash out of his bank, puts each category of spending into an envelope. And when that envelope's spent, it keeps him from like overspending, like going in and saying, oh, I need this, and spending from a different category. The envelopes help to keep you organized. Now, you can try to trust yourself, but really when it comes down to it, if we want to spend money, we're going to spend money. And what you have to do is you have to limit where that money is. So if you have an account that has a bunch of, if you have an envelope that has a bunch of cash in it, that's basically like a different account. So once you get down to zero, then you're like, well, that's it. I can't spend any more on this category. So then you test it out, and if you find out by the end of the month, it's like, ooh, that didn't really work, then you readjust. And you just test and test and test until you get a perfect budget. We're on budget number 2. We're just testing it out. And it looks like it's gonna go well. We're just implementing the envelopes now. And yeah, it looks good on paper. But we'll see how we do, because Halloween's coming up and different things. So we'll see how we do. We had enough to be able to have like a personal limit of 200 each. So we'll see if that lasts. I mean, it should last. It's just 4 weeks. We're doing it from pay period, so from the 15th to the 15th basically. But yeah, it should be good. And then tomorrow, I'm going to tell you guys how we're going about doing the whole paying off the debt thing using this budget system, and just like the plan in general, because I feel it's a great idea, and it's a good way if you have student loans, which we have quite a few student loans. It's a great way to pay off your debt and just enjoy life. And the way that we're doing it is, once we pay off debt, we're not done paying towards stuff. We're securing a future. And I just think that looking ahead, this is going to be so wonderful once we get there. Anyways, this video is probably one of the longer ones. So, I think I'm just going to say goodbye to you guys and enjoy this beautiful day. Went out for a jog this morning. 15-minute jog up the mountain. Finally got out and started working out. It was beautiful this morning. It's a little warm now, but I haven't had to turn on the air conditioning at all today. So there's your banter for the day. And you guys have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.